Guten Morgen. Good morning. Yeah, still is morning. This is going to be a painful one because I'm still sick. Still quite sick. um, this is the most sick I've been since COVID. It feels exactly the same as COVID, but no one else has gotten sick. Yeah, absolutely terrible. My throat, all my glands are swollen. Very irritated nose and things. I've had a weird chest heart thing. Lots of nasty shit, but there's no sympathy out there anymore for anyone who gets sick. It's just man flu now. There's no fucking helicopters in the air. There's no 24/7 holding news coverage, and it's it's a shame. I'd say it's definitely and this is the craziest thing. This is going to be not filled with passion, this one, because it's a bit of a slog. Because I'm just gonna list out the strange things. So it's definitely, I think it's mononucleosis or whatever it's called, which is EBV, which is Epstein-Barr virus. Okay. I am almost certain that a virus or a contagion was adapted in post-war, or probably during the war. And this is where you've got to remember, it's like, I think the atrocities going on in World War II were on both sides, and one side won. And so there is, I believe, some strange shit has gone on the other side of that, with the kind of the enemy of choice being the Nazis, of course, because they lost. I think there was some shit that was developed by the Allies, which is like me, and I think it's led to the situation. I have been encountering this specific virus. Like if I take COVID, it wasn't COVID that really gave me a hard time. It was the response to COVID. If I had to put my finger on and go, what virus have I been most affected by in my life? Like, and it's not subtle. It's not a little bit. It's this Epstein-Barr virus, considering what I'm looking at on the television every single fucking day. And considering, so this Epstein-Barr virus was discovered in Oxford by Epstein and Barr, to, an Irish, whatever, and and Epstein. And then the same exact thing takes place in Jeffrey Epstein. He was literally hired by someone called Donald Barr, whose son, Bill Barr, then ended up being the Attorney General for the United States and signed off on the fact that Epstein killed himself. And every single time I have been in a position, so this started out very early. This started when I wasn't doing any of this shit. I was doing my business and doing fucking gigs in a band. And every time I would go and do a gig, this virus would flare up. And there's like, I'm like, well, yeah. Oh, hang on. And wait for the interruptions. Come on. Yeah, I would go and do the gig, and I would, like a day or two before, I would flare up and get this virus, which made it impossible. Like if I feel like this now and I had to sing, and I think there was 2 or 3 gigs I played and I felt like this, and I'd feel like there was a fucking elephant sitting on my chest, like I'm congested, I'm like hot and sore, and yeah, not good. I put it down to just stress of doing the gigs. Fuck it, come on. It's real glitchy. And now I just can't anymore. I'm like, hang on a second. This particular, I hope this isn't glitched. Oh, I'm just going to continue on. This particular virus has caused both myself and my children's mother, like, 'cause she had it since she was a child. This same thing, like, not, it was, you know, someone kissed her when she was a child or something like that on the eye. Like, this is fucking insane. And then when I see things like, this fucking Super Bowl thing, that's an American Super Bowl, and they're singing in Portuguese and Latin the whole fucking time, and I can't understand the fucking thing that they're saying. Trump isn't wrong. There is a fucking come on. This is also the most glitchy it's ever been. You know? So other things that 3 years ago I was in Sydney, I was in Bondi. The only fucking time I've ever been to Bondi Beach. I drove there in my fucking white Mercedes van to deliver. I had to deliver mirrors or do something. Yeah. And that's the day that the president of Israel is there mourning the dead of the terrorist attack. And weirdly, I have the same. I have two stories that I shared on that day. One of them is a song by Nothing But Thieves, which is off Grand Theft Auto, in which the last line that it says in that story is graffiti on the overpass. And then if you literally go and to the place where those fucking shootings was and you zoom in on that overpass, it says this on it. Which is so random because I think it says clearance. It used to say clearance. And so it's, you know, it's specifically been changed to say that. And there's a fucking Mercedes-Benz, the same exact van that I went there in, sitting right there as you look at it at a street view. And then the president of Israel is there on the same day. 3 years later. It's because we've been at war for 3 years and there's like different levels of perception of this war that are going on. And this Latin fucking bullshit. It's like, I don't know if anyone else feels like this. When I watch this Bad Bunny character, when I watch this Latin thing, I feel sick. I feel fucking sick. And I understand what the American people are feeling. I'd be like, get the fuck out of our country. Do you know what I mean? It's this fucking communist, fucking hippie, fucking dancing, fucking Latin bullshit. And it's like Latin. Yeah, Latin. Like Rome. The Roman fucking Empire. Get the fuck off. With your fucking got some square fucking jacket on. He's like, I don't even fucking get it. Ricky Martin was all right. I like Ricky Martin. It's like this is weird now. It seems to just be this thing to like just confuse everything. It's like the evidence that I'm getting to discover this is like basically non-stop. There is non-stop fucking exposure of this exact thing. And there's two schools of people, like there's the MAGA or whatever you call it. They're trying to do something that needs to be done. Like no one, I think it's like there's this territorial ambitious thing into America, but it's like from the rest of the world, we're looking there, we're like, what the hell is going on there? I don't love American culture. I think it's over the top. I think it's fucking gaudy. I think it's weirdly just, it's like turned up to fucking 11. It's turned up to fucking 111 all the time. And I'm just like, oh, but it's America. They're ultra patriotic. They're like, and it's like, that's who they are. They're not Latin America. They're not that. And it's like, why that isn't the stage. And I think it's kind of like America has themselves to blame. They made themselves the stage because they made themselves a global propaganda machine. And so now people are trying to like commandeer the stage with their own culture. It's like, it's in the wrong place. And I don't know whether like this is, it feels a bit like a setup. It's like, why is it like a passive aggressive fucking media entertainment war going on in the middle of the fucking Super Bowl, you fucking spastics, in another language? Do you know what I mean? It's like basically in the good old days, if I had a gang of fucking Latin American people standing on fucking cars and, you know, with machetes in their hands going, get up, no matter how fucking groovy that music is, we're going to load our guns and we're going to shoot them. Like that's what Trump's doing. It's like, what the fuck do you expect? Go back to fucking wherever you fucking live. And stop like, there is no big fucking Latin Catholic fucking family going on. You're in a dying empire with a dying religion that's going to be continuously exposed. Like basically think of what, because the Catholics did a fucking great job with the Nazis, where it's like they were Nazis, right? That's why there's the fucking Roman salute. Like it's not subtle. This is, if you know history and you understand that region, it makes the whole thing look a whole lot different. It's like the Catholics play this little fucking, this little twisty fucking double game. And they're doing it again, but it's like the information flow is too quick. They have one book, literally. They literally have one book, but they have one playbook. And it's not going to work because there's too much access to information that's coming in from all directions. There's too much like, basically they won a game that because they had this controlled language and this empire and this like that they could do things. And this is where I'm mapping it out. It's like they literally called like Wiesbaden, which means white bath, which actually means like white bath. Okay. And then you start realizing it's like this is the ultimate, like if most people think of Catholics, they think of like white Americans. And it's like, the white Americans are Christians and they were actually Protestants. It's just that they were like colonized by Catholics in order to help them win against the British Empire, which was Protestant. And they've never, like, they're drowning in their own fucking whatever to realize that this weird race war is just the same war that's been going on in the region between Rome and Britain, basically, including Germany, for a fucking long time. But then it extended out to America, and America is like staging, it is grandstanding a fucking war that was supposed to be just taking place in this one little area. And it's getting fucking weird because it's like there is examples of both sides. So race doesn't have anything to do with it, which is so funny. It's like the people pushing DEI the hardest are the ones using race baiting the hardest to perpetuate this invasion. It just fucking boggles the mind. There is not any to sort this out like this. That like you can't, and it's the same everywhere. It's like, and I get it because it's like people don't want to surrender, but surrender what? Surrender. You've been let in that country. Like, and it's the same here. It's like Australia and the United States has never been Catholic. It has never been Roman fucking Catholic. And then as people's got to start understanding, it's like those Mediterranean fucking Romans, they were tanned and they were fucking, do you know what I mean? And they were fighting the way they're barbarians. And this even flows weirdly on into Nazis. it's like, oh, the Nazis are fucking crazy. It's like, yeah, the Romans had been doing that, and you bet on them. The Catholics are basically like, we should bet on the Catholics when the Nazis do. And then they lost, and then you just played the same trick. You're like those fucking Germanic, fucking crazy, fucking barbarians. It's the same shit over and over again. And then Britain's kind of in the middle. They're like, oh yeah, the fucking Germanic crazy Huns. They called them the Huns, but they were provoked by the Catholics. And now we have all of this, and we have the capacity to do this in language, in English. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, I'm not weirdly dressing up, doing some spectacle in the middle. And in fact, every time I tried to do a musical spectacle, I got sick with the Epstein-Barr virus. It's like, if we can get that, I think one of the problems is, and it weirdly does get down to some Nazi fucking shit, and I think there is a fucking alliance between the Nazis and the Jews, which is going to shock you all, because it's like, this is what's happening. The Nazis were held down. Their women, after they lost, their women were raped. Their fucking children were exposed to all this fucking shit. They were financially fucking swindled for non-stop. And the Jews were dead. So it's like the two losers of, if you think about it, the two losers of World War II were the fucking Jews and the Nazis by design. Who was the ones like shipping in the fucking like drugs? It's like, oh, let's get, and what is it? It's ice. Let's give these barbarian fucking, Huns, let's fill them full of amphetamines and anti-Semitism and kill two birds with one stone. It's like, do not fucking for a second think that the Catholics or the Romans weren't fucking thinking that they could do that. The same way as they're doing it now, they're like, we're going to have a party in your place. We got Ricky Martin and Bad Bunny. We're going to fucking just provoke this shit. We're going to provoke you to be more Nazis. You're just doing the same thing. But also, like, I'm here basically going, well, there is a Protestant British Empire that is just sitting there. We got hammered by World War II as well. This wouldn't have been resulting. This is the result of long-term fucking papal fucking planning. In the dark fucking days of whatever, they've elevated some type of thing. They align with whoever they're in, and it's like, oh, now I'm doing what Hitler did with the Jews, but I'm doing it with the Catholics. It's the same thing. And even I don't want to do that because that's ridiculous. So I'm like, well, we need to get to some fucking point. And it's like the American people. And it's funny, you can't even say the white American people instantly then. This is how fucking polluted and toxic and everything this culture has been. And it's like, if you're in fucking Germany, you know what I mean? And you've got, like, this is the same. It's like you've got Middle Eastern and Mediterranean people bolstered by an empire of control in your place. You want them out. That's what happened in that zone. And it's again what happened in World War II. And I think there is a balance of power that is shifting between these cultures that are behind, they're always behind Rome, because Rome's expansion pushed them into the colder areas, so we adapted to be in the colder areas. It's not a secret that it's called ice. It's a northern people and a southern people interacting constantly over it. It's black and white, but it's not black and white. It's like, that's why it gets so weird when it's Latina, because it's like they're a little bit more tan. Do you know what? And it's like, I'm a little bit more tan. If I can't imagine, it's like, basically imagine a world where Australia is right next to the United States, and I bring a bunch of Aussie bogans into and do some type of fucking Shannon Knoll tribute at the Super Bowl, I would be understanding if the Americans were pissed off, and that would be in the same language. I'd be like, we fucking own the place, get the fuck out of here, fucking clip go the Shears boys. Like, That's what it would be, because we're shearers. You know what I mean? We're not fucking, and we have cane fields. You know, we've got all of that shit. And it's the weirdest thing is, like, if I get back to just the music, it's like, I don't like it. I like almost all music that there's something going on, because it's not music. It's like, and then it's basically some fucking Latin cocksucker just going like, we the fucking Nancy Pan, what we, and it's like, that's what we're sick of. And it's, and just so you know, when we get sick of that, we will all fuck you up. And the problem is, this is basically the cultural divide going on between the slightly less white people and the slightly more white people, which is all it really is. Everybody's fucking white. Yeah. Like the fucking Nigerians must just be sitting there being like, oh my fucking God. Because this is all that's happening. It's like, I think it's almost like, think about it as this, as the exposure to the sun. So there is a people that have been used to being out of the sun, which is out of the spotlight, so we're patient. We're like, we will just watch. We will watch from the cave and see what these people do, right? And then most of the time, we let those people pass through until they start fucking in our temples, parading themselves around, celebrating the glory of Rome. And then we're like, we're going to have to kill them now. So you've already gone past the point of no return. It's like, this is our patience has worn the fuck out with this shit, and we can't tell you in another language, especially when it's like there's constantly shit going on. And this is happening in our own cultures. Like, there's people in the fucking in our culture that have been intoxicated by this, like, this raucous, you know, showy fucking DJ bullshit. And it's not who we are. This bread and circuses shit, it's like, no, while you were having bread and circuses as the Roman Empire and coming up into the colder territories, we were having like pagan fucking, you know, like snow parties and cave. And it's like, not because we were fucking primitive or like inferior. And it's like, this is the hangover. This is what you don't get. Everything described as racism, when they're like, I South out there, it's like, you're paying the fucking price for your ancestors, you fucking cunts. Not the other way around. There was no fucking Nazi Third Reich. They didn't win. The Romans won. They won because they fucking bet on both sides. Everything that you say about the fucking Jews, the Romans have been doing. It wasn't like, even the hatred of the Jews in fucking Germany was created by the Romans, because they said, right, no, the Christians, you're not allowed to do this, so the Jews have to do it. That, like, this is what happened. And then the Jews got good at it, and they were the only ones allowed to travel. And that's what created all the fucking anti-Semitism. The Jews have been the fucking pawns of the fucking Catholics and the Romans for a long fucking time. This is where it all comes. And it's like this Latin, like, culture it's like Roman slave culture. Okay, so and this is what's so weird, is like, you take African American culture, like now hip hop, all this shit. This is why it's aligning. You could argue that is Protestant Christian slave culture. Like, the Protestant Christians took Africans from Africa, made them into slaves, did this. It's like the Roman Catholics took Latin people from Spain and Portugal and made them their fucking slaves. You know, that's why they like them to be singing in the fucking cane fields. It's so, but it's like, one is celebrating and one would never do that. Like, if you could, like, think about this right now. If the Super Bowl had African American people in it, singing in cotton fields, do you know what I mean? Would that happen? No. Why? Because the African American people celebrate their freedom that was given to them by the President of the United States, Abraham Lincoln. This is the weirdest fucking showdown that you can imagine. And it's being just, I don't know, like the Super Bowl is like, there's a football game going on, and then there's like the Christian fucking Super Bowl going on. And it's almost like the Catholics are like, look at our fucking slaves. They celebrate being slaves. You know what I mean? That look, it's like they've developed a culture that's quite happy for them to sing and dance in the fucking cane fields. And it's like, well, doesn't that technically give, and I'm not saying to do this, but doesn't that technically give Donald Trump a fuckload of headroom to just be like, yeah, the hip hop problem and the fucking the meth problem and the fentanyl problem and the gangs and the fucking all this shit. We thought we were doing the right thing by celebrating, and again, I'm not saying to do this, by celebrating Snoop Dogg, Dr. Dre, and it's like, oh, we really fucked up. Abraham Lincoln fucked up, according to the Catholic Church. We should have put more effort into like building their culture, so they developed a content culture where they would celebrate that. And I don't know. I don't fucking know. But you can't whittle it down to, it's like, so the Roman Catholic Empire has brought South American slaves up to rub in the faces of the white American Protestants again, and kind of hijack their event. But it's failing because it's like, well, where do you go to from there? When is the Roman Empire going to release its fucking South American slaves that it's been getting to run drugs and fucking grow sugar, and you know, who else knows what's been going on? That story was never told. The story that was told, and because the story is always being told by the same fucking place. And no, it's not the fucking Jews. The Jews, here's the fucking hot tip. The Jews are paid, right? They're paid to tell stories. They're paid by people with money to tell stories. Money and resources. And it's like, this is why that they're the convenient fucking scapegoat in the middle. I watched a thing because I'm constantly bombarded by Hitler fucking propaganda, on everything. It's like any time I want to go down a rabbit hole of Nazi ideology, it's right there all the time because YouTube keeps showing me. And it's like, why? Why does it keep showing me that? You know what I mean? And I have to say that because I have to be out in the open and be like, I'm in a position where I'm trying to flesh out a long fucking history, but it doesn't make sense. And the concept that the Nazis used to target the Jews was so, like, it's so obvious because and so powerful because they weren't the problem. They were like the postman of the real problem, but the real problem was way scarier. And the real problem was going to help the Nazis. And so it ends up just being fucking weird. And I think there's one of the problems with the Roman concept is that it's to do with its like inherited status. So it's like it's the emperor of Rome, and it's like you're constantly getting that. And that's like, what is Rome? And it's like, Rome is great. And that's like, we need to talk about that. We need to talk about that in the way that it makes sense, so we don't have a battle between Rome that was great and Donald Trump's America that is trying to be great again. It's like, how about we just find the middle ground and tell the whole fucking story? Neither of them are great. They're a pain in the fucking ass. You know what I mean? It's like, and it's as soon as we start identifying the actual causes of these problems rather than fucking fucking minority groups. And that's the reason why blaming the Catholics is kind of a solution because they're not one ethnicity. You know what I mean? That's what was so horrific. The weight of the fucking Catholics' fucking crimes landed on the Jews because the Jews were kind of the only thing that knew. They also knew the crimes of the Catholic Church. It's like the final showdown of the Joker in fucking The Dark Knight where he kills all these guys. That's what the particular fucking Pope during, and you can kind of say it now because he's dead. Whoever the Pope was during World War II, he's the Joker from The Dark Knight. He tried to kill all the Jews. His important people that were doing the work of the administrative work, the money thing, the legal, all of that shit for Rome. And then kind of conflicting because it's like Rome for the Germanic Empire, for the Austro-Hungarian Empire, for the British Empire. And that did weirdly give them a power as intermediaries, but not a power of like total fucking control. And even if there were occasions where they were attempting to etch out total control, it's like, well, they were sandwiched between 6 other fucking empires or 3 or 4 other empires and doing a lot of the heavy lifting and taking a lot of the fucking blame. They're the scapegoat for this empire. And it's like, and now we're at a position where they've got their state. They've got it. And yes, there was atrocities, but it's like those atrocities make, they pale in comparison to atrocities of both the British Empire and of the Holy Roman Empire, or of the Persian Empire, or of the Russian Empire. And they're in there doing the work. And it's like, and I think they're basically like, they learnt, like once bitten, twice shy. They saw the whole thing, they had their fucking Holocaust, and now they're not going to have that again. And we need to get to somewhere where we're telling an appropriate story of this actual fucking thing. And I think the point where I go, oh, the wise bath, which means the white bath, which means, what I can't remember the Latin word for it meant the waters of the Matica, which was a tribe, but then Matica means crazy in Italian. The crazy tribe, the crazy white tribe. It's like, oh yeah. The crazy white fucking tribe that had their lithium springs and were, quite peacefully fucking living in this region until this ambitious fucking, I don't even know whether it was Julius Caesar, decided to come up and take it all, or Marcus Aurelius, or whoever the fuck it was, some tanned fucking Mediterranean fucking moocher. And this archetype lives on. It's like the thing of whether if you're a Jew or anyone, of this thing of this tanned fucking Mediterranean, like, hey baby, I come up and fucking I kiss your wife. I kiss your wife. And it's just, it's getting fucking old. It's like they're doing what they've always done. And I think there has been this kind of simplicity towards people from this region, people from the colder regions, from the whatever, because we were living in the elements. We weren't insulated by the blanket of Rome. And this was just, and it's like there's that racism that is present in every single thing that is going on, but it's being turned. And so it isn't, it's like, and then the porn now, it's not the Jews. The Jews have fucking etched out their own little thing. They're like, yeah, we're not going to let that happen again. But the porn now is the African Americans. They're in the same position. They've done a lot of work. Literally, they built America. And now they're being, culturally moved around like fucking pawns in negative ways by both sides of this equation, and will inevitably take the biggest brunt of this conflict between what is basically a Protestant Catholic conflict going on in all regions and stretched out Like the jump to North America, is so large because it kind of created like a cultural race. And so we have these like Roman Spanish conquistador, South American fucking Portuguese, Argentinian Empire, and still the British Empire, north down. And it's like, and it looks like they're trying to find their middle ground. And I'm just fucking sick of it. I'm so fucking sick of it all. We don't, because it's all on the show. And this is where like I have no way to prove this, but I have a theory that there's something to do with this fucking virus that was probably developed in post fucking war allied nations, this Epstein-Barr virus, you know what I mean? It's the same fucking set of names. It's all the same. It's the same fucking bullshit. A virus or a frequency that is, it projects out and it basically coerces, it like stimulates people. And this isn't that odd. We have examples of this like with grasshoppers, that we can turn them into locusts by rubbing them with a feather or a pen. So locusts are a stimulated result of provocation by a stimulus. And I think that it's either a virus, it's either a chemical, or it's a fucking frequency that basically turns people into like rampant consumers. Okay. And then it's like consuming everything. It's consuming media, consuming material products, consuming like sexual partners, anything that it is. And that's where it like makes sense that it would be a virus, because the virus wants to be around other people. And then there are certain cultural ethnicities that aren't as prone to this. And so like we have these of these cultures, which is basically best described an empire meeting the Germanic tribes, the Druidic tribes, the Scandinavian tribes, all of these northern tribes that have a very different environment and a very different culture. As this stoic, there's just like, yes, they just want to sit there and do what they're doing. They don't want to go and fucking parade around and rub up against each other and fucking do all this shit. That's very clearly a completely different set of people. And finally, luckily of all, because I can get to something of not being like, I'm not necessarily being critical either. I'm saying it's just a divide. There is a divide between the northern people and the southern people. And I think it's like a reaction to this stimulus. Because one, if you think of like all the friction between people when they're rubbing up against each other, they're buying things, they're doing all this stuff, in a system like Rome, where there was a central currency controlled by the Jews, but not really, like administrated by the Jews, all of that friction and bumping into each other ends up back in the coffers of Rome. And it's like, okay, but then in the northern hemispheres, that wouldn't work as much. It was towns. There was like there were small communities because they had to weather winter. They had to do all that. It's just completely different, and that becomes the culture of like materialism, the culture of like exhibitionism. All these things is offensive, and it's like it's offensive. We're repulsed by it, and I think American culture is strangely, it's clearly a Protestant culture, bones, like it was established by Protestant Christians that had this same, frugality mindset and this, whatever, this is the whole thing with George Washington being humble in his whatever. And then obviously being infested by this fucking materialist Roman effect. And then because it does spread from like all the northern reaches of the cold climates and then all the way down to like, the tropics of Florida and Texas and things like that. That's the way it's laid out. That's why it's north and south. And there is just a very clear cultural divide. And I think it's like we need to get, I think there was a race to globalization, but it's like, can we just get back to places being where they're supposed to be? If I go to the Super Bowl, I want to be surrounded. Do you know what I mean? I want a cowboy singing a fucking thing. And I want this, like that's America. And if I go to Latin America, I want Latin America. It's this constant thing to homogenize and to we're going to be both. You can't be both. You can't, if you're an ultra flamboyant fucking materialist, live for the moment, fucking Moulin Rouge, whatever. You're not going to get along with like some German fucking board. Like I just stack the potatoes on the shelf and like that's, or the same with Russians. It's like. And I think the Russians know a little bit better how to they stay just the way out of it. And then they could just come in and be like, we're Russians, we do it like this. Whereas the Germans tried to actually full on do it. They tried to full on claim their territory. And we have to get to the point. It's like the Nazis weren't Germans. The Nazis were Germans on meth. And it's like, that's a fucking thing. The Germans aren't anti-Semites. The fucking Germany was one of the most integrated Jewish German settlements. It's like it was a conflicted state between traditional Germanic tribes, Jewish merchants and Jewish bankers and traders and things like that, and then the Roman Empire. There's three things in there. Not two. And it's like it just never gets, because it feels so long ago. And this is why the same trick happens now with the British Empire. It's like everyone laughs at it. It's like, the British Empire, fucking thing. It's like, what? But they will still call us racist. They'll take down our statues and do all these things, but they'll pay first-class fucking tickets and pay all this shit to go to Italy to look at the Roman ones. It's like, it's the same. The one difference is because we were northern tribes, we were humble. We had humility. We weren't, outwardly going. We didn't do this type of shit. We didn't fucking dance around and fucking do this nonsense. And the real problem is like people want the security that humility, that Protestant fucking dedication brings, but then they want to go out and party with the Latins, with the Romans. And it's like, that's always the way it's been. That's why there's been a fucking thing, because that was the key to their entire fucking civilization, was to go and, the Romans are having, your wife would be sitting there, have you had enough turnip soup? And then the Romans have some weird little festival going on, and your wife and your daughter and your things go there. It's the same shit. And then when we retaliate, they call us barbarians. Ridiculous. It's fucking ridiculous. There is no cultural fucking solution to what's going on in America. The more you fucking your flags and fucking party on and Bad Bunny and fucking Ricky Martin, your bullshit across the north, the more fucking of your people are going to die. Get it through your fucking thick fucking tequila-filled fucking heads, you morons. This isn't a fucking 30-year war, a 40-year war, a 50-year war, a 60-year war. This is a fucking 2,000-year-old war. Yeah? You are going to be brought to your fucking knees by this fucking shit. You've had your fucking, don't cry for me, Argentina, Lady Gaga moment. Now get the fuck out of the United States. In a fucking orderly fucking queue. The same way that you fucking rolled in there. Have your fucking little salsa dance all the way down from South America, and then figure out how you can fucking, I don't know. get yourselves as a part of that place and then celebrate your fucking culture. All sliced up. The fucking Roman Empire sits like confetti around the fucking world because bread and circuses only works when people are fucking starving, and none of you cunts are ever going to risk fucking starving. You don't have any cultural history of hiding in caves, in snowdrifts, in fucking, disguising yourselves in fucking snow, in fucking conquering, devastatingly fucking dangerous Arctic fucking conditions and oceans and ships and doing all this stuff. You don't have any of that. You've been partying on the fucking Roman fucking tab for thousands of years, and we're fucking sick of it. And we're not going to be called fucking racist for declaring a longer version of DEI. And that's all you need to do. Just think about Snoop. It's like, hey, Snoop Dogg, I'll phone him up. Do you want to fucking go in the Super Bowl and dance on the fucking top of a fucking car in a cotton field dressed as fucking slaves? Yeah. And send all your prayers and praises to Queen Victoria? Or are you quite happy with you being able to develop your own culture despite all its own, its obstacles and things like that? They're never going to do it. That's the conversation that needs to be taking place in North America. You know what I mean? And I'm not here to convert African Americans or any fucking other nation to my fucking religion. I'm trying to find similarities between my version of Christianity and their traditional religion. The same here in Australia. I'm not trying to bring Islam to the Aboriginal people. I'm not trying to bring Christianity. I'm trying to go, hey, I actually think Christ probably was Aboriginal, considering there's that fucking cross in the sky. I kid you not. I saw a comment the other day on a fucking post, and this is how much this DEI bullshit is infectious. This Roman Catholic fucking lie. There was a picture of the fucking, like, a flag or something, right? And it had the Southern Cross on it. And this person said, oh, that fucking Christian element there of the Southern Cross. And I'm like, what? The natural constellation of the Southern Hemisphere that, yes, does look like a cross with a spear going in it, but it's not like Christians didn't put it there. Like Christians of British Empire descent who have it proudly on their flag. And I can guarantee you if Christians from the British Empire didn't put it there, Catholics didn't put it there either. I'd say that fucking constellation in the star is the largest inconvenient fucking thing that has ever happened on fucking earth to the Roman Catholic fucking empire. I'd say that when the first fucking Roman Catholics arrived in Australia and looked up at the sky, they went, holy shit, we're fucked. We are fucked. And I go, yeah, you are fucked. You're completely and utterly fucked. Now start acting like it. You know what I mean? I don't have a fucking problem with all these fucking Romans, all these Latinas partying the fucking life away as they grow and fucking plant trees and fix all the damage from the fucking bullshit. Stop the drugs, do all the fucking things that they should be doing. Stop the invasion, stop the expansion, stop the bullshit. And yes, but don't come in and party in a culture that is doing what it has always done. And if you do that, and I will keep pressure on your president to not be the fucking emperor of the United States, to continuously remind him about Washington's example, continuously remind him of the oaths, of the Constitution, of the precedent, of the example set down of the promises, all the shit. And I will do that from the British Empire as my continued war against the United States. But yeah, I do think we should start looking up, because how long? It's like World War II lasted, what, 4 years, 5 years? And look at all the atrocities. Like, how long? It's been 80 years since the end of World War II, 90 years, whatever it is. In this stalemate, in this perpetual fucking war, it's like, I can guarantee you there is some fucked up fucking shit going on with our technologies. And the thing that's happening is, like, we're supposed to believe that with all the technology advancements, all the things, that humans didn't continue on any of the horrific fucking atrocities that were committed in World War II. I pretty much guarantee that they did. In fact, I'm almost 100% certain that I'm a victim of it, constantly stuck in a fucking, a perpetual fucking thing because of my whiteness, because of my family, and constantly told the opposite. It is fucking ridiculous. In the beginning of World War II, Rome and the Catholic Church is not now. It is not at all. In fact, there was an attempt to align the British Empire with the Germans. And it's like, what I'm talking about is like, I think we're going to align the British Empire with the Germans and with the Russians, and we're going the fuck out of the equation. And the Jews, we're going to align with the Jews, not push the Jews out, because that is where we should be. But not in this gaudy fucking celebratory thing, in a very just like, we are not fucking around. Get the fuck out of our shit. Get the fuck out of our, stop crying fucking victim and all this fucking poor. You are the descendants of a fucking empirical fucking horrific fucking empire that spread its fucking garbage and mutilated and killed people all across the fucking world. Now, politely go and fuck off, and don't come back until you're way more humble, till you're way more, do you know what I mean? Like, way less la 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 la. It's really fucking simple. We are going to do what you all say you are going to do, and we are actually going to do it. And it's the first thing we do. The first moment that the fucking Roman boot is off our fucking necks, the first thing we do is we go and help the people that have been dispossessed by this constant warfare, including some of our fucking kind of enemies in the Persian Empire and things like that. It's like, we're going to get you water. Would you like water? Would water help you? Fresh, clean fucking drinking water. Would appropriate fucking, things stop this insanity? We don't want to be Rome. We want to undo Rome carefully, but leave the wonders of Rome. There was beautiful architecture and beautiful civic design. All that. We don't want to destroy it all. We don't want to throw the baby out with the bathwater.